All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Lucent Truth, and we are the Lucent Troop, starting with our youngest member, Carbon X. Say what's up to everybody, Carbon.
Hey.
And right below him is. I'm about to call you DJ Dave. Right below him is King81, aka Arson Ill Beats. Say what's up.
Right here, I gotta come to enthusiasm like Uncle Dave, man. Since
you gotta bring
in his absence.
You gotta bring the energy, especially since Carbon
Yeah.
never brings any at all, except for when he gets excited about something he's talking about. So that's good. And right below
It's all
him
good.
is Mutundo83. He hasn't been on a while. Say what's up to everybody.
The Almighty One is back.
Oh no, he's taking your throne, Brian.
Yeah. And I am your gracious host,
T-
G-Flux
t-
the Great, G-Flux the Grand, G-Flux the Magnificent. And today we are going to be talking about a number of different things since this is another Freeform Friday. But the first thing we're going to talk about is the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trailer. I believe this is King 81's topic. And
Yep.
we did watch this trailer when we went to go see Across the Spider-Verse. And I liked it then, but I didn't really get to absorb it. So it's cool. We're gonna watch it again, and I can really kind of sit down and truly look at it, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. So you guys tell me if you can hear this or if you can't hear it, and we'll figure something out. But here we go.
Can I take it? I'm awesome. Boys, where have you been?
We're just running errands.
That's it?
Look, we're really sorry, Splinter. Some of the guys wanted to get pizza, and I tried to talk them out of it.
You ratted us out. Hey, don't use that word that way.
I mean, it's 2023.
Sorry, Dad.
Hey, guys, if we weren't monsters that were shunned by society and we could do what we wanted, what would you guys do?
Go to high school. Maybe get a girlfriend.
Can you imagine that?
Not likely.
Can I kick it?
Yes, we can. This is insane. Turtle, mutant, karate teens. I want to know everything about you. Our dad is definitely not a giant rat. That makes me feel like he's a rat.
Can I kick it?
Police are baffled by the recent crime wave led by a superfly.
Nobody's ever seen his face.
Why?
Because he kills everyone who does.
Cool.
No, not cool.
A bit cool.
Can I kick it?
We take out Superfly, and then everyone will think we're cool. They'll accept us.
Can I kick it?
He's making a deal tonight under the Brooklyn Bridge.
Can I kick? Whoa. Kick.
What the? Y'all some little tortoises, huh?
I can't believe there are other mutants.
You want to roll with us? Humans are never gonna like us. So we gonna let the mutants rule the earth. People's, they got to go.
Okay, sort of a twist.
We can't stop him.
We gotta try.
6 in the morning, police at my door.
Can I kick it?
Go!
My son, Michelangelo, you have heart. Donatello, you have wisdom. Raphael, you have bravery. And Leonardo, honor.
Enough talk! I dream about fighting every night.
You've got a rage problem, right?
snap.
It's not a problem. Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna let you start off. We're gonna let you start off, Big O, since it's your topic.
Yeah, man. I'm still excited, man. I can't wait until the release for it, man. But definitely glad to see a little bit more of the whole theme of it, how it's all coming together. So one of the interesting parts, man, it's like in the scene, it sounds like they're saying crime wave, but it sounds like also too they're saying crane wave or something like that. It's anytime I listen to it, that one particular part of it, I always hear that part. So I wonder if it's like kind of hinting that Krang is somehow in this, somehow, the Utron. I think it's not the Utron. I forgot what they call it themselves and all, man. But yeah, definitely excited, man. I like how Splinter looks like now too. I'm hoping that one photo we saw of him was like something like a past picture or something. So and the humor and all this, man, it's definitely there, man. And seeing how it's playing out, especially with Superfly, definitely love the fact when he rolls up on and crashes through like the back of their car, and it's like 6 in the morning, police at my door. You know what I'm saying? So throwing some old reference and stuff like that in there. Yeah, I really feel like it's gonna be fun, man. Definitely digging the art style. I feel like it has its own versus the Spider Verse, but still knowing that new type of style is definitely influencing other projects to try something different, man. And I'm just ready for it, man. Looks like it'll be like a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I think so too. The teaser, I liked it, but this has got me way more excited. And I think also Across the Spider Verse has actually got me excited about this because the sheer joy I got from watching Across the Spider Verse. Because I mean, it's to me artistically, it was just a marvel, and to see them doing something similar with Ninja Turtles, I think it fits Ninja Turtles very well.
Yeah.
So, because remember the fourth movie for Ninja Turtles it was basically the fourth sequel for the Ninja Turtles from the movies that came out in the 90s was a 3D animated.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. When did that thing come out?
Like
Ninja Turtles
2009, I think.
9.
Oh, 2007, because
Seven?
it came out when JV was born. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 3D movie. I want to say that I believe that was a direct sequel to the Ninja Turtles movies, and it wasn't bad. I liked it, but it looked 3D.
Yeah.
It looked 3D, and that's
Yeah.
one thing I have to say, man, about this new Ninja Turtles trailer and the Spider-Verse movies. I watch those movies now, and it doesn't feel like I'm watching 3D. It almost like this new Ninja Turtles almost
Yeah.
seems like I'm watching like stop motion.
Comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. I
Yeah,
get that,
man.
especially in the animation with it. I definitely
Exactly. Yeah, man. It just looks so good. It's stylistic. They're taking 3D and they're really
Finally
developing
improving
it.
upon.
Yeah, so it doesn't look everything doesn't look so plastic. You know what I'm saying? So
get it. Yeah.
and I like this. I thought this movie was okay. The one that came out in 2007. It wasn't bad,
Hmm.
but it definitely looks 3D.
Yeah.
It has that 3D look to it, and yeah, y'all know how I feel about that. But that's why
It's
I
okay,
think,
bro.
man, that Spider-Verse movie. Oh my god, dude. But
Yeah.
so I'm hoping if the story and everything is as good, if the characters are well written, and there was some of the humor in the trailer I did like. So it is gonna be interesting to see what they did with Splinter because that
The mullet.
the
They was
bullet
like, "Whoa."
Splinter. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And
another
Jackie
thing
Chan
too.
as
They got
well.
some pretty bad
All right, hold on, wait,
hairstyles.
everybody got to talk at the same time. All right, Orlando first.
Oh, no, it's all good. Another thing too, I just like the whole adventure aspect of it. It kind of gives me that vibe, like like if you've seen like the Goonies type of deal and
Yeah,
things like that. So
yeah,
it does feel adventurous, and so yeah, definitely. And they feel like kids, really. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like I
yeah.
really get that vibe from them in this, and be interested to see what they pan out with this, though.
All right, Demetrius, you next.
Well, one thing I'm liking what they're doing with the Turtle franchise, they're actually going through all aspects of the spectrum because they got the Last Ronin. They got it working for the animation and the game for it now.
Yeah.
And they got something I saw they're trying to put something on Netflix. So that,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really have any complaints about the trailer. I mean, we all, except for Carbon, we all grew up with the Ninja Turtles. We all had our, our masses and bunches of toys.
Well, to
So
be fair,
yeah,
they've had a Ninja Turtles cartoon for every generation. So I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
Carbon,
Yeah.
you watched at least one Ninja Turtles cartoon, right? Or at least part of one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you grew up with it. What were you gonna say though, Carbon?
Yeah, I don't remember
It's all
One thing
good.
I will say, my only gripe, and it's not even really a gripe, it's just a small thing about it is, I think Donatello and
his voice.
Michelangelo's voices should be switched, because Michael's always been the youngest turtle,
Mhm.
but he sounds older than Donatello in the trailer. Like Donatello sounds like he's the youngest, so I think they should have switched voices, and Michelangelo's voice is a little deep. Usually Michelangelo has the lighter voice. You know what I'm saying? He's usually the youngest turtle. That's my only thing. But I mean, it's so small. Like it didn't really matter that much to me.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing that kind of stood out to me, watching the teaser and the trailer, was that. But man, I think if they bring it with the story, man, I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, I'm getting across the Spider-Verse vibes as far as the tenor of the humor. And it was funny. Across the Spider-Verse was funny, man. It had some pretty funny parts in it. So, and this is Ninja Turtles. They got to bring the comedy. Especially with this type of style of Ninja Turtles. So.
Since I was on the podcast, I got something to say. From
go ahead.
Across the Spider-Verse. It's not just that it's funny. It's actually like it gives me that same vibe. But when I first saw Chadwick Boseman playing Black Panther. Yeah, like y'all remember we all saw that movie together, I think, and I couldn't wait to get home to tell my mom about it. I'm like, they got a depiction of a black man. He's regal, and like the thing about Miles is he's like just a good kid. He's not a hoodlum.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that in our review of the movie. I will say though that I wasn't that impressed with Black Panther the first time I watched it. I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. I had my issues with that movie. Upon watching it a second time, because I remember we did a podcast on that too. When I watched it again, I appreciated it a little bit more. But I don't know. I think when it comes to, if you want to like compare the movies, Across the Spider-Verse is just way better. I mean, my opinion.
I didn't say it was better. I'm just saying the feeling. I'm just saying the feeling of having.
I see what you're saying, but I didn't get the same feeling. I felt that more with Miles because I could relate more to Miles. Miles is an American.
Mm-hmm.
He like you said, he's good natured. I saw myself in Miles. I saw my nephews in Miles. I saw my brother in Miles. I saw a lot of you guys in Miles. I couldn't relate as much to Black Panther. I actually related more to Killmonger. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I did. Like, I mean, yeah. So, but no, I think, but I see what you're saying. If I'm not gonna, if that's how you felt, that's how you felt. I'm just saying I didn't feel that. I think if you want to talk about impact, I think the Spider-Verse movies, as far as impacting young black boys and young men, I think is going to have I'm telling you right now, it is.
Yeah, especially with that storyline,
because they can relate to that. It's the same reason why. Yeah. It's the same reason why, like, if you talk to younger white children, like younger white boys, right? And you say, well, now I'm guessing I have read this, but it might have changed in recent times. I don't know, but the last time I looked into it, if you gave them a choice between, like, who do you like more, Spider-Man or Superman, most young people are going to say Spider-Man, and maybe older people
they definitely
might say Superman, because he is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He is the everyman. He's what happened to Peter Parker could happen to anyone. Even Stan Lee said that. He said that, the difference between Spider-Man's story and a lot of other superhero stories was he was a normal person that became a superhero. He was thrust into that life. And that's where that classic line came from, with great power comes great responsibility. So I think as far as impact, Miles, definitely. I think even the box office is kind of showing that. I don't know, because Black Panther did really well. I could be wrong about that one. Black Panther did extremely well. So, I could be wrong. But if you guys want to, we'll move on. All right, so we're going to move on to the next topic, which is going to be, let's see. It's going to be Kayla's topic. All right, before we talk about this, I got to know. Demetrius, I'm sorry, Mutundo 83, King 81, have you guys watched this?
Yes.
I have not. I have not
shame
yet.
on you. I shouldn't shame you. You got a lot going on.
Oh no, man. No.
I can understand why you wouldn't have time to watch it. But I'm sorry, King. We're just gonna have to talk. We're gonna talk.
No. Talk. No, it's all good. Yeah, I'll catch up on it.
We've been putting it off for too long. I've been trying to wait for John, but John has a lot going on too. But so we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. Good. I'm gonna let you start.
Where is John?
He had to go to New Jersey. There was a death in the family, so he had to go to New Jersey. But
okay.
But Carbon X, I'm going to let you start off since this is your topic that you wanted to talk about.
You want to start like a basic summary of the show or what?
No. Don't do a summary because we'll be here all night. When we do these, we're going to assume that when we talk about the people who are going to watch this segment have already watched it. They already like it. They're already into it. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna try to recap it for people who haven't seen it. We're just gonna tell these people go see it. It's worth it. So just give us your thoughts. If you want to talk about something that really stands out to you, go right ahead.
Yeah, definitely like the nature of the show, how they just get stuck and like this infinite loophole place. It's like a pocket.
I take that back. Give us a quick summary because Orlando hasn't quite seen it, and you're right. Maybe we should. I'm sorry. I saw everything I said before. Null and void. Please.
So basically, it's like the small village that's on its own, and whenever you get close to it, you get stuck basically in that village. If you try to drive away from it, you end up moving back to the village. And at nighttime, these creatures come out and they'll try to kill you.
Well, the important thing to note about the creatures is that
there's a smile. They smile at you too.
They smile. They look like humans, but they never run after you. They only walk after you. Deliberately, they only walk after you, and you can hear them screaming in the woods, like when they come. But when they come towards you, they never. So you can run away from them, but you don't want to get caught out at night because a whole bunch of them come out, right? And the other thing important to note is, the town, it has houses and buildings and stuff. And the main character, he figures out that he goes in the woods and he finds these like medallions that are on the ground with like little symbols on them. And he figures out that if you put these symbols or these medallions up on the wall in whatever dwelling you're in, it can even just be a room or a car, right? That the creatures can't get in. They can only get in if you invite them in, or if you open a door or a window or something like that. Then they can get in. But they can't violate your home or your dwelling or wherever you're in if you have one of those things up. Now, if that thing falls on the ground, then it's a useless rock. Yeah, your ass is grass. They can get in. So that's the other important thing to know. I mean, it's extremely surreal. It's creepy. It's a good show. They're on the second season right now. Matter of fact, I can't wait till Sunday because the next one's coming out Sunday.
And you can't really kill them either. Yeah, the only way to we kind of found maybe a way to kill them, not necessarily.
So we're not gonna say because that will spoil it. And but no, you can't shoot these things. You can't stab them. And when
traditional weaponry does not work. It's going to be something within the place itself that can kill them. Like outside forces cannot kill them. Only things that probably are inside it can even affect them. Just think of it that way. So
they mess you up. They mess you up. Like if they catch you, they turn into
eviscerate you.
Beasts. And they play
this as a game. Remember because they tortured that one guy. I remember. And remember that one lady with the freak? What was that one thing? She had like crowbar through her like her head or whatever. They tried to get her out there.
Tortured her.
And she was still alive throughout that. And then she started screaming.
See if I can find that part.
That was crazy.
So
what was that thing called? From being.
So even if they kill you, try to. So basically, they just torture you forever. Like you just can't.
No, they'll kill you. They might torture you.
They eviscerate you.
Yeah.
Oh,
like there's different degrees in cutting somebody up. There's like cutting somebody, mutilation, then evisceration. And like when you see these people after they kill them, there's no negotiating how dead they are. They're split up the middle like a turkey. I'm serious.
Man. So do they eat the people after that? Or
no. It's like they get off on killing and torturing. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well.
And also, if you stay there long enough, people tend to get like crazy dreams. Which sometimes the dreams you can actually interact with that dream, and that dream can actually harm you to a certain degree if you allow the dream.
Yeah, some people have visions, like these weird visions and stuff. I think it's from the same producers of the Lost show, and I have never actually seen that show, but a lot of people say there's some similarities to it. But it's pretty crazy, man. It's a pretty crazy show.
And you said what? You said this is on like Hulu or something, or
no? It's on MGM.
Yep.
Oh, you can get the first episode of Amazon for free of Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
Amazon. Okay.
Yeah, you can rent it on Amazon.
First episode of Amazon Prime.
Yeah, you can rent it on.
No, the
Amazon.
second season you have to rent. The first season if you have Amazon. No, the first season is on Amazon Prime. The first season.
Amazon. Okay. I got Amazon.
Hold on. Well, the thing about it that this is another show that Brian introduced me, and he says, "Man, when I came over to the house, I said, have you seen it?" And I'm like, no, what's it about? He says, man, you got to watch it. So I'm like, whatever, right? So I get to the house and I'm like, okay, let me watch. I have nothing to watch. Let me try this thing out. And I watched it. And when that first episode, the little girl, like, Susie, it's grandma. And I'm like, and the little girl opened the window.
And
I'm like,
messed up.
Okay, what the hell?
Dude,
the hell
father,
is
what they did to the father too. Oh yeah, he made the father go in there first and look at all of them, and he was like, oh, so that was, yeah. I need to get put in the
I can't
cage.
find that one scene, but I can't find the little girl scene.
But
I'll check it out though. I'm gonna check it out.
But
definitely by the next time we review season 2 or whatnot, I'll be gonna watch that up on it too. Well, season 2, man. So.
Like I'm sitting there watching this, like, oh shit. And here's the thing about it, right? In this day and age, between all of us, we've seen so much graphic deaths and everything.
Yeah.
And for something to sit there and perk my attention, like, oh my god,
yeah, because it's really like you don't actually see a lot of the gruesomeness, but
you see the aftermath.
Yeah, they show the aftermath of the body,
okay.
yeah, and it'd be like, man. But this right here is like, if you could see this is the we'll watch the clip. Let's watch the clip since it's a clip.
Yeah, that's
you can get a little
grandma.
taste. Yeah, you can get a little taste of it, Orlando.
Okay, cool.
Man.
And I think it's shot in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it?
They said it's one of those small towns in the north.
Hey, can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
But yeah, they named the next show.
Wait,
where?
Hold on. The video is playing Carbon. Can y'all hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, barely. But yeah. Let me turn my sound up.
The window.
But I'm not supposed to.
It's okay. I won't tell. It'll be our little secret.
Do you promise?
I promise. And I would never break a promise.
See how she put her hand on the medallion?
I've missed you so much.
Megan, what are you doing?
You don't look like my grandma.
She's not your grandma.
I'm so lonely.
Baby, please just...
Maybe I can come in.
Megan, no!
Yeah.
Well, my thing about it is this, right?
My thing is, why didn't she just run in?
I was thinking the same thing. Like, just run and grab her real quick. You know, instead of trying to reason with her. She's a little kid. Grab and snatch her behind up. Yeah. See, situations
that
like
would never happen in my black hole, man.
Yeah, because you'd be more afraid of your parents, especially your
Of your
mom.
mom.
Yeah, I know.
That was this monster. You leave in the morning.
I'm just talk to random strangers. Like once he figures out it's not a grandma, he'd be like, "Yo, would you really want to keep talking to that person for one?"
The funny, the thing is, when it comes to situations like that, it would be somewhat traumatizing. But you would have to go show the little girl what happens when people get killed. Like, yeah, look at this. Mm-hmm. Don't open that window. Don't open these windows. Don't, whatever, right?
Or this could be you.
Yeah, and then they show, the aftermath.
Yeah.
It's
a good example for that is like I forgot what the you know that one family's daughter. Remember she went to the other house after that whole thing. After the house, he's like, "No, I'm staying with my parents now. I'm not gonna stay with the common house. I'm staying with my parents now."
Yeah, that's the flaw with the common house, because it's like one person messes up, everyone goes down. But they did figure out. Here's what they did figure out, though. They did figure out that if you put the medallion up in a room, then you're protected in that room also. So it has some weird laws or whatever.
But I think it's a door. I think anything has a door. I think that's like what I've seen. Anything that has a door, you can put a medallion on.
Yes,
that's something that you can go in and out.
Yeah, they're almost kind of like vampires. That typical vampire trope that they can't come in unless you invite them.
Oh, they also sleep during the day too. They literally sleep, which is kind of interesting. Because remember, when she went underneath, or she fell underneath the
Come
house,
on, man! Don't
when
give
she's like, digging that hole.
give it all away, man. But yeah, they do sleep at night. I will say this: From is one of the hardest TV shows to look stuff up because from is just such a normal term. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they kind of named that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another thing is this, right? Harold Parnell, who plays the main character boy.
Yeah, we gotta talk about him.
Like he's not a superhero. He's not. He has problems. He has real. He does not only have to deal with his town. He has trauma. When he first came to the town, he had to try to keep everything together. And he has a child he loves there, and then all this other nonsense. And then on top of that, you got monsters. And that would make any hero, like any story break.
Monsters and people.
I don't know if he's the hero. Man, Victor's the hero. What are you talking about, bro? He is not the hero. Victor's the hero.
Of course you would.
So is that the dude from the Matrix or the Wire?
That's him.
The black
dude?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Hey, Carmen, explain that. How is he Victor the hero?
Now who's Victor now? Victor is the.
He's the retarded
guy
dude.
like the peaches. Yeah.
Call it retarded.
What do you mean? Dude, what do you mean? He knows the most about the place, and he's
How's
literally bro. He's saving the wife. What are you talking about, bro?
Look, even the advice he gave. Even the advice he gave, people almost got the black guy killed. He don't know nothing. He's not helping anybody. Like he just talks in riddles. And he doesn't do anything. Like he's just, now, maybe eventually they'll develop the way he does them. Right now, he's kind of like my opinion. He's like, that's why the one guy kept saying, I know you know something. He kept after him because he's right. Like you need to spill the beans, man. All this crazy stuff happens.
I know you know something.
If anybody, it's the black guy. It's the goddamn hero. He's the one who figured out how to.
He's going out there actively trying to find a way out.
Stuff, yeah.
Like man, he ain't about shit.
So these creatures, they're just all forms of like looking like humans.
I'm gonna show you one in a second. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. This is the aftermath.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, that's the aftermath after she opened that goddamn window.
Wanna open the window?
Yeah.
Not my black home, like I said.
Here, let me
Shit. My dad.
You can search with the cage scene after this too. So.
My dad and my mom would have been on me like pootie tag.
Here's one of them right here.
Oh yeah, that was the most common. He showed up so much. I don't know. He was like the main smiler for so long, and then he died.
Come on, man! You give it all. I know you give it all.
Oh, so they can die.
But this right here is where the family that you first meet, they get stuck in the loop. Yeah, this is when you kind of first meet them, and they're in their Winnebago, and they're driving down this road, and this tree is in the middle of the road, and like, where did this tree come from? And then they see these crows and these weird clouds, and they're like, okay, let's get out of here. So they try to leave, and they get out, and they come to this town, right? And at first he gets out, he sees they're having a funeral, and he goes and asks for directions, and the black guy tells him, yeah, if you just keep going up this road or whatever, you'll hit the highway. So, the white, this family, he gets back in the car and they go down the road. And then the black guy, he has like a deputy, he's like an Asian guy. And the deputy guy is it him? I think it was him who asked. But he was like, basically not going to tell him. And he was like, there's no telling people. You got to let them kind of like figure it out. And sure enough, they drive for miles and they come right back to that town. And they're like, well, wait. And the wife was like, wait, man, did we just get here? So they drive past, don't even stop, and they keep driving, and they come right back to that. And eventually, I think I'm not gonna say everything, but they are what's the term I'm looking for? They're hazed into that reality pretty quickly because of something that happens to them in the Winnebago. But man.
So is that this takes place in in the 80s?
No, that's the thing.
That's just the town is old.
The town is old.
They live in modern times. Just the town's old.
The town's old, and also the mentally challenged guy. He's probably been there since the 70s, right? Yeah. And the only supplies they have is what people have when they bring there. But there's still all these old clothes and stuff there from the 70s. So that's what people dress in. You know what I'm saying? So that's why everyone has kind of like an antiquated look about them. And they can grow food. You know what I'm saying? They can do that, but they don't really have much else. You know, so yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I saw the vehicle. I just figured, like, what time were they from? Maybe from the 80s.
He just has
an old one.
An old Winnebago. But it takes place in modern times. 'Cause I believe she has her cell phone. Yeah, she's on her cell phone or whatever.
Probably no signal.
Yeah. So,
like the guy who was in the Winnebago, he's like a engineer or something too. Yeah.
He made roller coasters.
Roller coasters.
He was an engineer. Yeah, he was an engineer. This right here, this scene right here, this is kind of like how the show begins. You see Pernell Whitaker, whatever his name is. He's
Harold Pernell. He's
ringing his bell. And when you first watching it, you're like, okay, why is he doing that? Like, why is he ringing the bell? Like, what is this, like 1930s or whatever? But the bell is kind of like, hey, get inside. It's getting dark. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have strict rules because if you don't got strict rules, man, people get slack, and these things gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? So he's ringing that bell like, hey, and then he lives in the post office, and then he uses kind of like as a police thing.
Yeah.
And he goes in there, and he has this little metal plate, and on the plate it had like 100 days or whatever before since someone had been murdered or killed by one of those things, and that don't last long. That's for sure. But it's good, man. The cool thing now is that things are kind of changing. I'm not gonna say what, but things are kind of changing about the town, and they don't really know what to do about it. But I ain't gonna say much after that. I will bring this up though. I'll bring this up. We have to move on to the last thing or to the next thing, and that is Harold Pernell's acting. Yeah,
y'all talked about this before.
Yeah, yeah. The last time I went to John's house, I think it was last Saturday. Yeah, because you were there, Caleb. It was me, Caleb, John.
Yeah, he's like, his acting's horrible.
Jesse. And me and John were trying to explain to these guys that this guy's acting is not the best. Like, they like the show. The show's good, but his acting.
I said he's good enough. I keep telling you he's good enough for the job. He's good enough.
No, Caleb was literally like trying to say this dude was like, that what did you? I can't remember exactly what you said. It wasn't like you were saying like he was like the best ever, but you were like, I can't remember what you said, but it was like, no, he's not. He's a mediocre actor. He's a mediocre actor.
He's good enough for the job. He's good enough.
I mean, if you want to me saying good enough is like, all right, he's mediocre. Like, okay, he's not great.
Like, mediocre means almost unbearable. It's not like it's like an unbearable actor. He's good enough. Like,
no, like, unbearable means unbearable. Mediocre means not very good. That's what it means. That's literally what it means.
Well, it's not very good. That's still almost the point to be unbearable. Like, what would you want something not
unbearable
very good?
Is unbearable. Not very good is not very good. Unbearable is like, okay, I got to turn this off immediately. Not very good. It's like, okay, it's bad, but
well, the way you guys act,
everything else
exactly. He should have seen you.
That's how you took it. That's how you took it. That's how you took it because
you act like that was unbearable.
Because you like the show, but you can't differentiate that the show is good, but his acting is kind of subpar. Especially in some scenes he's okay. I think he's okay. In other scenes I'm like, all right, this dude's terrible. He's not good. He's like Keanu Reeves in many respects. Like Keanu Reeves, like he's in good movies, but Keanu Reeves isn't like the best actor. He's a mediocre actor. You know what I'm saying?
But he doesn't have to be the best actor. Like, he does a good enough job. Like, what the world? Like, what do you mean?
It's not about have to be.
People aren't coming for them.
We're critiquing what we're seeing, is what we're saying. That's all we're doing. We're just like, hey, look, his performances aren't the best.
To agree with Brian, like, I like the guy.
I like him too.
But
he
doesn't sell the role.
Thank you.
Like,
you guys act like you could act better than him, bro.
It's not about whether we look.
Hold on. Why is this young buck always coming at me?
No. He said y'all. He said y'all.
Hold on.
Wait.
You're really taking nice today. Y'all. You're taking a personal.
Yeah, you're taking personal. Look at it like this. I don't know Harold Pernell. I don't know if he's an artist or not, right? And he may not even be the best judge of art. But if you show him a drawing from one of the best anime people ever made, anime mangaka or comic book artists, and you show him some art from, I don't know, a high school, a freshman high school art student, right? I'm sure he can tell the difference. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. We're critiquing his acting. You know what I'm saying? So
And,
it's not about him. He can critique art, but he doesn't have to be an artist. I guess that's the larger point I was trying to make. You know what I'm
and I've
saying?
seen him, and I've seen him in a lot of movies. Right, he's in the first Matrix.
Yep.
He's been in the Best Man series, and I hate to say it, he
What's
plays the
why?
same person.
He doesn't have a lot of range.
But
He's not very convincing.
I
But
don't
he's
think hire some people
likable.
to be the same.
But
No, wait,
he
aren't there
is
certain actors
likable.
they do that for? Like a certain, like The Rock, for example, they hire him to be the same character.
Yeah,
There's certain
he's
actors
similar.
where
No,
they
The Rock
hire to be the same character and everything.
The Rock is similar. I don't think The Rock is that great of an actor. But he's popular. People like him. He's a popular actor. But I don't even consider this guy a popular actor. I consider him a likable actor. People like him. They tolerate his lack of ability because they like him. So like Keanu Reeves or Nicolas Cage is actually pretty decent. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Who kind of fits in that.
and y'all gonna sit there and shit
Will
on me
Smith.
about this,
Will
but
Smith. Will Smith used to be a likable actor before the the slap her around the world.
Slap.
Yeah, the simp slap, not the pimp, the simp slap, the simp slap her around the world. Before that, he's not that great of an actor, but everyone liked Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? That's all we were saying. You know, I don't mind him in the role. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the acting is so bad that I just can't watch it. But it is hilarious to see sometimes. But anybody else got anything else to say before we move on?
It's just good. It's just
good
good.
show, man.
Tell you the truth, there's except for Carbon's about to jump through his seat. Except for Victor, nobody's acting is really great in that show.
I think the termagant woman that runs Colony House, I think she's actually pretty good. She has some gravitas. She has some screen presence, and even with
You're talking about Donna.
Yeah, even with lines even though the lines may not be written like her delivery, she's pretty good. I think the young girl, she plays a brat pretty well. I was convinced. Teenage girl.
No, she's the worst. She's the worst character.
Teenage girl, but hey, she sells it. Like I'm convinced. I'm convinced. Yeah. Who else?
That's the one character I want to die in the whole show. That's the only character.
Those two are probably the best. Everyone else, they're decent. The really smart guy, the one that's seen Division, he's not bad. He plays a douchebag pretty well. I'm convinced by that.
Wait, the Asian guy's not bad. He's not bad.
Asian guy actually pretty good. I think he has a little bit more gravitas than Harold Purnell. Yeah, I think so too. And I've seen him do different emotive things better. So yeah, I agree with that. But we're gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna move on to the next thing. All right, guys. For my topic, I wanted to talk about an anime that I watched. I actually binge watched it last night. I think it's only like 8 episodes. Called Hell's Paradise. And the reason why I want to talk about it because there hasn't really been a lot of anime lately that's kept my interest, right? I kind of gave up on My Hero Academia. I might revisit that. Believe it or not,
they ruined the story without.
Maybe, yeah. I actually gave up on what's the one about the Giants? Attack on Titan. Like that first season came out, I loved it. It took them forever to come out with the second season, so I kind of lost interest. I just never went back to it, even though I heard it's really good. I just never went back to it. Made in the Abyss. I restarted that, Caleb, so I'm gonna give that another shot.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's been worth it.
And I remember liking it when I just
good,
I just never went back to it. But I'm gonna try to finish that one. What else? It's been a couple more. Kimetsu no Yaiba. What is it called? Demon Slayer. I'm still following that one, but that one they take so long to come out with the dubbed version, and I don't mind watching subs, but a lot of times when I watch anime, it's like when I'm ready to go to bed. So if I gotta sit up and read, I'm probably just gonna fall asleep. I need to lay down. This is my relaxed time when I'm watching something, so I don't feel like reading. I just want to listen to it. So they take so long to come out with a dub, so I'm gonna wait for them to kind of like, come up with some more episodes for that before I get back to that. But anyway, I watched this one. I saw it. I saw a clip, I think, on Twitter, and it looked really cool. So I was like, oh, let me research it. And basically what it's about is, right, this guy right here, he's a ninja. And he's part of a ninja clan, and his master, right, kills his parents when he's a baby, and he makes him watch him killing his parents when he's a little baby, right? And he tells him that, you know, your parents were weak, right, because they wanted to leave the ninja village. And he trains him in ninjutsu, and he becomes such a deadly practitioner of it. Like, he's like the most well-known criminal in Japan because he's just that deadly, right? He's just killed so many people because his master trained him to be like almost damn near invincible to like just normal attacks. Like, you're gonna have to be extremely skilled to like harm him, you know what I'm saying, or just really strong. And anyway, long story short, for his prowess and his abilities, his gift is he gets to marry the chief's daughter, and he does get married to her. And he doesn't like it because he feels like she's gonna soften him, you know, and give him kind of like something to believe in. Whereas he's been taught to be like this cold, a killing machine, you know what I'm saying? And he starts to fall for her, right? To the point where he wants to leave the village with his wife. And of course the chief doesn't like that, so they set him up, and he kind of just gives up. But anyway, long story short, they're trying to execute him, right? And they can't execute him. Like, they try cutting off his head. They try burning him. They try pulling his legs apart with like 2 oxes, and they can't kill him. Like, they can't kill him. They can't kill him. And the homegirl in the back, the girl behind her, his executioner, or it was supposed to be his final executioner. She's skilled enough to kill him, but he evades, and she basically says like, you know, you keep saying you want to die, but yet you're evading my attacks. And she basically forces him to realize he actually wants to live, and he actually wants to live for his wife, even though he's kind of tried to close that part of himself off. Like, he actually cares and loves for his wife, right? So they make a pact with him. They're like, okay, look, if you want to spend the rest of your days with your life, we'll allow that with you, and we'll even overrule your chief. But you're gonna have to do something for us. And essentially, long story short, he and a whole bunch of other criminals have to go to like this island, and the island is supposedly where these gods live, right? And on the island is this thing called the elixir of life, and they got to find this elixir of life and bring it back to the shogunate, and that's their task. And look, when they go to this freaking island, not only do they have to worry about all the monsters, like all these like beastly monsters on there, but they got to worry about all the other criminals that are there too to help try to find the elixir, because, you know, they're turning on each other and making alliances and stuff like that. But I thought it was a good premise, and I liked this. I watched all of it pretty much last night, and I enjoyed it. And it's one of the better action that I've seen anyway. Now, I haven't watched a lot of anime, a lot of stuff just turned all the isekai stuff. It's just I can't do it. I can't. All the I spirited away to this video game land or this fantasy land, that's annoying me. I'm tired of it. But this one, it kept my interest, and I binge watched it, and I enjoyed it. You guys got any questions?
No.
We can watch a trailer for it real quick.
What's the name of it?
It's called Hell's Paradise.
Hell's Paradise.
Yeah.
It's not interesting, man.
Oh, I should say this. When you go, the people who they send to this island or this land, the few who make it back, right? When they get back, they got all these like flowers and stuff growing out of their eye sockets and stuff like that. You know, like yeah, it's crazy. Like, yeah, it's crazy what happens to them. Yeah, here's the trailer.
So the land warps into a certain degree?
Yeah, to some extent. Here, you can see it right here. But yeah, it's pretty cool because when they go to the island, like they basically meet the gods, and the gods have already like drunk from the elixir of life. So far they're unkillable. And when they meet them, they start getting messed up, dude. I was like, yo, it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it so far. I mean, I don't think it's the best anime, but it's something that kept my interest. Whereas a lot of anime these days just don't. But yeah, any questions? I'll take that.
No, question, but oh no, I was saying, yeah, I like the whole setup of it though, man. I feel that's interesting. It's just like a twist on it instead of I like the whole just backstory. I find it.
It's pretty cool because
I feel like that brings you more into it. Like, okay, yeah, all over it, but okay, but now it's like, oh, okay, well, he's trying to,
yeah, and it's pretty cool because it's a play because when you first go to the land, it looks beautiful. There's flowers, there's greenery everywhere, but everything on that thing is trying to kill you. It's trying to kill you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why it's called Hell's Paradise because it looks like paradise.
Well, yeah,
it's a living hell.
But nah, it's not.
Yeah, so yeah. But all right, guys, we're gonna move on.
So you say?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So you say he drunk the elixir of it, and that's why they couldn't kill him during that one time?
No. He
didn't want to die.
No, he's just extremely skilled. Like he can enhance parts of his body through using ninjutsu. And subconsciously, even though he was outwardly saying he wanted to die, subconsciously he didn't want to die. So that's why they couldn't kill him. Like if he would have let them kill him, they could kill him. But subconsciously he didn't want to die. Yeah.
Tell him about the first scene when he had all the criminals trying to determine who's going to the island.
Oh yeah, because when so you've been watching it, Demetrius?
Yeah.
So when they have to bring all the criminals that they want to send to the island before like the shogun, and they all got their hands tied and they got these masks over their faces or whatever. And basically the boats are only so big so they can't take all of them, so they make them fight to the death, and whoever remains standing are the ones who are actually going to go to the island.
Yeah, they can't just send multiple boats over there. Shouldn't they send as many people as possible?
Well, you only got a certain amount of proctors too.
Yeah, and it's like a resource type thing. You don't want to, you don't want to.
Oh yeah, they gotta send them food too.
Yeah. So well, not just that. I mean, a boat is a resource, and if only so many of these things come back, you know what I'm saying. So it kind of reminds me a little bit. It's not the same feel or story, but this similar concept to the Dark Continent from Hunter x Hunter. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But we're gonna move on to the last subject, guys. All right, guys. The next subject is from Mutundo83, and he wants to talk about basically like AI and actors who are old, who have already passed away, and maybe rights concerning how their voices are used after they've died and that type of thing. This is the one article that we have on it, and it's basically about a Ukrainian. I guess what do they call him? I think he's some kind of he's a synthetic speech artist, is what they're calling him. And Disney basically used him to help with the voice of Darth Vader for, I think, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, because as you get older, your voice changes. Your body changes, so your voice changes. So James Earl Jones doesn't sound exactly like how he sounded like when he was in the prime of his life, doing Darth Vader's voice. Same thing with Luke Skywalker. They had to use some electronic or tools or some digitizers to kind of get Mark Hamill's voice back to how it was sounding when he was in his 20s when he was doing the movie. So it's an interesting topic because it's like, how valuable is it really? Because one thing here's what I noticed, right? Something can become too old, right? We even seen it with our generation, Carbon 83 and not Carbon 83, Mutundo 83 and King 81. There are certain films that, as a Gen Z person, Caleb's probably just not going to watch. It's just too dated looking for him. You know what I'm saying? He's just Just not interested. Even though we might think they're good films, it's just too old. And guess what? We're the same way. Like I'm not gonna watch a silent era film movie. Just not gonna do it. It's just too dated. It looks too old. There's no sound. There's no one's talking. There's some scenes from certain movies that I think are pretty good that are artistic and I can appreciate it. But I'm not gonna sit down and if you go look at some of the movies, they're like 3-4 hour long movies sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I think so. How long were silent film movies? But so it only has value for the current zeitgeist. Now I can see maybe it resurging. Like, okay, let's say 100 years from now, people go back and they start looking at Star Wars footage. Like, oh man, that was some pretty cool stuff we did. And there's like a resurgence. Like how when we were younger, King 81, we saw people wear bell bottoms again. You know, I can see them saying, hey, look, man, that Darth Vader voice by that. They probably won't even call him the actor. Darth Vader's name is probably going to live longer than James Earl Jones' name as an icon. You know what I'm saying? Remember that Darth Vader voice? We need to use that in our film. And it'll be new to them because it's 100 years later. Whereas anyone who lived during that time, you know, so I think that's, so it's like the only use it really has is because we can relate to it, is using it for Darth Vader or maybe they want a narrator for a documentary, but they want it to sound like, because you know he's actually done a lot of narration for documentaries and stuff like that because he has a just really cool sound and deep voice. So I mean, hey, we want this narration to sound like James Earl Jones' voice. I can see them using it for something like that, you know. But eventually, it's going to lose its luster. So saying, you know, can he sell the rights to his voice and all that? I think we showed earlier that he didn't actually. Disney already owns that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, once they hire you, once they kind of own everything you made for it, man. Your voice is technically something.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you give yourself to a big company, you've already lost a part of yourself.
No, Disney. I ain't trying to get sued. I ain't saying shit else. Yes.
What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
They'll make you gonna get you.
No, you don't. Right. You remember I took my internship at Disney World.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like if you draw something, say you came up with a character on their grounds, they own that character.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
and you had to sign
that. I remember that. The work you make for another company is tech. Or if you're at a company, you make work. That work always belongs to them if you're on their hours. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I would look at the contract.
Most people make you sign that in their contract.
I would have to look at the contracts because I thought it was more like, you know, if you're just drawing, sketching in your downtime at lunchtime or something like that. But if you're on the clock working and you design something specifically for their company, then yeah, that belongs to them. But it depends on how the contract is written. That sounds a bit general. Yeah. Just do something on your grounds. That sounds a bit general. You know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong. It could be that straight.
Well, they make it something that general so they can take advantage. You make something more general, right? That means you have more ways to take advantage of it, you know, when you be.
Yeah, but you're assuming. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm on the same as I would like
you know,
to
most companies don't care about the individual person. They're going to try to get as much as they can off you. Let's be honest here.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I'm not saying that they don't.
Yeah.
What I'm saying though is that you know, there's a difference between when you're working on the clock and you're working for a specific project for the company. And let's say, hey, look, you know, I'm taking a lunch or I'm taking a break and I go outside and I do a quick doodle. I don't think Disney has a right to. I don't think that Disney has a right to that. I could be wrong. But I would have to look at the contract to see.
I've heard of stuff like that. Like even like in the contract, like as long as you're like contracted to them, and it could be even if. Let's say, I mean, just basically, if you got a contract with them for like 3 years, you know what I'm saying? And even during your downtime, like, you know, but it'll be in the contract, it'll say, like, hey, you know, even though if you come up with anything, you know what I'm saying, in this contract, so even if you're not, say, like, working right then, as long as you're in that contract for that 3 years, anything that you make could, you know, they basically have the rights to it. It's like you have to, I know sometimes.
I don't think that's true.
No, Mr. Julie talked about that. Yeah, that for certain companies, they will do that. They'll do that.
Yeah, because I don't want to say no names of certain companies, but I know like if you say like you make something right, and in that contract, well, for this particular company, I'm not gonna say no names, but it's like if you say like if they have you for 3 years, right, and in the contract, okay, we got you contracted for 3 years, and after that 3 years, you have to wait for another year cooling period before you can come up with something. If you do, it's like they don't get to take it. So even if you do have something, and once you finish that contract for 3 years, you gotta wait another year for it to cool off, and then whatever you may have, and you can claim it for yourself. But it's just like I said, it's all in the contract.
It's all in the
They
contract
got stuff like that.
because look, it says, does your employer, now it's different for different companies, so I don't know, but it says, does your employer own intellectual property you create? And it says employers typically own intellectual property developed by their employees, but there's room for negotiation. Intellectual property rights can be concerned for employees regarding works created or developed within the workplace context. See what I'm saying? That's what it's context. In many cases, employees who create a product or develop an idea while on company time will find that they do not own the intellectual property rights of those creations. So it's like, okay, if I'm working on a project for the company and I'm coming up with ideas and concepts, yeah, they own that, right? But if I'm not on the clock, if I'm at home working on my own stuff, they don't own that. You see what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with the project for that company, you see?
Hey, and here lies the difference of what you're talking about in my situation. I was living on Disney property.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
you was sleeping there and everything.
I was sleeping there and eating there. It wasn't like if I drew it off when I was going to get food at Walmart or
how they
off
gonna
the
know?
property. That wasn't.
How are they gonna know unless you open your big mouth?
Man.
Do you see what I'm
Brian,
saying? What are they gonna know?
Even 20 years ago when this happened.
Let's say you're drawing something, right? Let's say you, like you said, you work for Disney and then you were living on their property, right? Let's say at night you're sketching in your own personal sketch pad or on your own personal computer that's not attached to Disney. They can't log into it or anything like that. How the hell are they gonna know? That's what I'm saying. That's all. I would have to see the contracts myself, but that's too much ownership. I don't think anyone has that much ownership over your person. While you're there, while you're working on projects, if you develop concepts even peripherally for their concepts, for their projects that you were hired to do. But I could be wrong. I've never actually seen one of the contracts. You know what I'm saying?
I think one of those things.
See, we'll read this. It says, but if an employee creates intellectual property that's unrelated to their job, the situation becomes murkier. See, if an accountant for the company rather than an engineer came up with the same engineering advancement, for example, there would be an argument that the work isn't within the scope of their employment, Martel notes. The same type of intellectual property ownership rules in the employment context also applies to patents, with one exception. In situations where an invention is of outstanding benefit to the employer, it may be possible for the employee to claim some form of compensation. Martel says, for example, this outstanding benefit exception might arise when an employee's invention generates huge profits for the employer. So that's actually more beneficial to the employer. Like if you create something on the job and it's groundbreaking, they got to cut you in. And I think a lot of places I've worked at, kind of have that. Like, I think even the military is like that. You're not you ain't a fucking slave. They don't have right to your freaking brain at all times. I'm sorry. I don't think it's like that. Now they could probably contest it and throw a bunch of money at it or whatever, but you could fight it. Like, no, I did this off company hours in my own time or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you on that, Carbon. I think they will try to fight it and they're gonna try and grab whatever they can. But you could probably beat that in court. Like, nah, I can prove that I was doing this all company hours, has nothing to do with what I was hired for. It's almost like if you hired to develop content for a gaming company, right? Like say if you were hired to be an illustrator to do concept work for a gaming company, but you're also a programmer. In the meantime, you're programming your own video game. You weren't hired to program. That's not what I was hired for. You program something on your own time at your own home, not at work, not on company hours, not when you're on the clock. You know what I'm saying? Now, unless the contract specifically says, that's when you probably got to read your contract. You know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. That's just my gut is I don't think they have that much autonomy over your brain, unless you're developing something for that particular project. But I think when it comes to James Earl Jones' voice, it's not that they own his voice. They don't own James Earl Jones' voice. He can still do work. He can do whatever. But that particular sound is
Darth Vader voice.
associated with Darth Vader, and it's probably his voice with the enhancements on it. You know what I'm saying? To make it sound like it's coming from a machine. That's probably what they own, not James Earl Jones' voice. That's what I'm assuming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But any other comments on AI voices?
Yeah,
I know they've been doing the with the whole Jay-Z, and I'm like, that's a lawsuit to me. If I was Jay-Z, I'd be suing everybody for that one.
And I want to say, I think Timberland, he's doing something with that as well too, like with the voice. Like I don't know if he's investing into that type of technology and stuff like that. No, I don't know the whole, but I know like there was talks about him investing into it. I mean, don't quote me on it, but I know he was looking into it.
Yeah. Now it says 2 days. It says 2 days after the Jay-Z YouTubes were posted, they were removed due to copyright claim. But just as quickly. But it says, but just as quickly they returned. It says for sound recordings, these are protected regardless of whether they are created, generated by AI or human author, because there is no requirement of originality. However, a song or lyrics to be protected, they must be original.
Well, look up the like I showed you earlier. They have Biggie doing shook ones.
Yeah,
that threw me the hell.
Yeah, I heard it. Right here it says on March 15th, the Copyright Office issued its latest formal guidance, which reaffirmed its position that the works that are created by AI without human intervention or human involvement cannot be copyrighted. So it's looking like people can do it because it's probably like a form of parody.
No, I'm not gonna complain. That's new for me.
Yeah. What I don't like though, they're gonna have to make some kind of stipulation, like, okay, if it's in parody and it's in good fun, and you're clear up front that this isn't the real person, that is AI, you have to make that declaration. Okay, fine, have at it. But if you're taking his voice and you making him saying crazy shit, right? And you don't declare that this is an AI voice, this is AI generated, I think you should be able to get, to me that's defamation. You know what I'm saying? To me, I would see that as a form of defamation because you're causing harm to someone's reputation and maybe even their physical being. Like if you had Jay-Z just saying crazy stuff about, Jewish people or something like that, like Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't state, hey, look, this is AI generated. This is not real. It's fake. I think he should be able to sue. I really do. It's a slippery slope for me. But anything else, guys? Or we're gonna wrap this up.
No, pretty much it.
What you working on, Carbon?
Right now, I'm trying to work on the Ghost in the Shell one. I'm almost done with the clone. I gotta make the jacket next. I rigged the hair, so and I got a texture.
You don't want to show the audience real quick?
I have to switch to my other computer if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. If you want to take the time, I was gonna have go ahead, and I'll have Demetrius show what he's working on.
What I've been drawing by hand?
Yeah,
traditional stuff.
Show us both if you want. Then we're gonna wrap it up.
I don't think you can see it.
Yeah, just put it up closer to the camera. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So who's that supposed to be? Your evil neighborhood guy?
I don't know yet. I'm just doing characters.
Oh, okay. You're just practicing.
Yeah, I'm working on. This is going to be the book dedicated to that story.
Yeah. What story?
Are you making a story?
My friend.
Okay.
Are we recording still?
Yeah, you don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. Just say you make work on a comic.
Yeah, we're working on the book.
Okay. All right. Well, while Caleb is getting ready, I'll show what I've been working on real quick. Let's see. Share my other screen. Let me stop sharing this one.
Yeah, hold on, I could share my screen real quick.
Wait, hold on. Let me stop sharing mine, and I'll let you do yours, Caleb. Stop streaming. Go ahead, Caleb.
It says still got a texture and make the jacket. Oh yeah, it's almost well done though. Yeah, because I thought
Okay,
I
man,
turned normal.
that's looking pretty good, man.
Details and everything. Wait, what?
I said that's looking pretty good.
Okay.
It looks like the major. Like, dude, that's man. If you guys could see Caleb's early work, Caleb, man, show them the first thing that you modeled.
Dude, I would just say that's in my old hard drive.
You don't got like some picture, like a picture. You don't have. It don't got to be. You got to open up 3D file.
I gotta
picture or something.
Try to find something.
That man, you're getting good, dude. That looks like
I
the
can't see what the
major.
hell he's doing.
You gotta press the view watch. You gotta press the button, Demetrius.
Oh, that's on my screen.
Yeah.
I can probably find some old picture, one of my older photos.
Yeah. Zoom in so we can see the model. That's looking good, dude.
Definitely.
Looking good. I think the texture on the clothing needs some work. It should be like a shiny.
I haven't textured it. That's the thing. It's not even
Okay. This is just the base. Okay.
It's just a solid color. Yeah, I'm about to say, because I gotta go in and color and texture it.
Yeah.
I'm probably go in sepsis and add more of like a leather texture, make it look a little more realistic.
Yeah. Do a full turnaround real quick. Yeah, man, that's looking good. So what are you gonna? Are you still trying to do that one idea you had?
Probably not.
I'm telling you, dude. Keep it simple. Put her in one of them little spider tank things, nice little cool city.
Yeah, I'll do that, or just have her stand on a rooftop.
Have that thing bouncing with the music, man. Keep it simple.
Yeah, you see, even the hair's rigged now. You know.
Yeah. Looking good, dude. Looking good. Yeah, show
everything.
Did you find the image?
That was showing you, so it's like everything's completely rigged now. Most of the deformations are good enough.
Yeah, man.
The clothes I'm gonna have to fix a little, but everything, you know.
Man, that's what's up, kid.
Yeah, look at
that.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, man, you've come light years, dude. Got the eyes. Hell yeah, man. Oh wow. Open the mouth and deselect it so we can open it first so we can see what it looks like without all the. Yeah, man, that looks good, dude. Great job. Skin texture, hair texture, everything looks good. This is just my opinion, but I wouldn't give her the brown eyes. I would give her like pink eyes.
That's just how she looks in the second gig version.
I know, but it doesn't. To me, it don't contrast well. I mean, even in the show, I don't like it. I think if you gave her pink eyes, something a little bit more vibrant to kind of go with her hair, I think it would look better. That's just me.
I could change color at any time. It's all this is it's just a shader, so all this is pretty adjustable.
Adjustable, yeah. Looking good, man. Looking good. Well, I'm gonna share mine real quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up.
All right, I'll try to look for one of my older pictures.
Huh?
I'll try to look for an older picture, some old thing I modeled.
Okay. Well, don't worry about it. We'll do that next time.
Yeah, I want to say that's probably what I should do. I don't know if I should do it at the end of this year or if you want me to do it like set up soon. I could set up a compilation or some kind of like video of all my work from basically the start of college up till now. If you want to do something like that, right?
A demo reel type thing.
Yeah. It's not general. It just shows all your work. It shows because people do it like when they show like a year to year progress of their work.
I see.
I could do that if you want me to do that at some point. So I go through everything.
Not about what I want. What do you think that's going to help you out?
I mean, I guess it shows my growth. I guess I don't know if that's necessarily helpful, but you know.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, man. Put together was real.
All right, let me share my screen here. I'm gonna be working on this tomorrow too.
But yeah, the jacket's definitely gonna be the hardest part because I don't know how to go about modeling that.
You're not gonna use Marvelous Designer?
I'm gonna try to.
Yeah. All right, but this is what I've been working on, guys. As far as the elf story, I've been working on the Lustgate, and come up with some different techniques to color it. But I'm pretty satisfied with it. I mean, it's not done yet. I'm gonna try to finish it up tomorrow, but I'm gonna add kind of like some marble textures to it and some like cracks and little pot, to make it look more like marble and stone or whatever. Once I'm done coloring, and I'm also going to add like a little bit of a background, just to kind of show how the cobblestone path that leads to is kind of look, and maybe the size of the path and stuff, and the clouds. So I'm probably going to add a little bit more to it, and I'm also probably going to do a different variation of it to where you see where the mouth is open and you see the eyeball in the mouth. So, but yeah, this is what I'm going to be working on tomorrow with Caliph for the elf story. But yeah, that's what I've been pretty much working. I've also been working on the Infinite Tribe album, but I didn't have enough time to render it. You saw a little bit of it, Big O.
Yeah, definitely coming along.
Yeah, but I didn't have time to render it out. Yeah. But all right, guys, that's gonna wrap up this week's podcast. Everyone, good job. Everyone, keep working. Have you done any more work on the sword, Big O?
Not yet, man. I'll definitely get back on it next week, and I'll have something to share on it.
All right.
Yeah, my bad on it. Just got crazy busy.
Yeah,
with stuff.
and you don't have to show like if you got I know you said you're working on a new album. If you wanted to show some artwork or whatever you got for that, or maybe a little sample of the beat or one of the beats. You know what I'm saying? You could do that. I want to get more. Me and Uncle David were talking about this. We need to get more into what we're doing, what we're working on, because I think that also makes good content. And I really need to start recording while I'm drawing and painting. Matter of fact, I'm gonna practice with that tomorrow, Carbon Next. When you come by, I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, I'll do it when I sculpt the little thing, like sculpt the bodies. I can do like a video of that because that shouldn't take too long, so I don't have to make a ton of cuts for just sculpting a body like that.
I'm like, what I was gonna do, I was just gonna record myself painting until I'm done, and what I'll do is I'll just fast forward it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the way you can definitely get some views.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Some music to it as well too, man. I can shoot some of the beats or something like that. Have in the background.
Exactly.
Some video like that too.
That'd be cool. But all right, guys. Do we usually have? I don't think I have an outro. I'll just say this is.
Make an outro at some point.
Yeah, this is I'll just say this is Mutundo 83, Carbon X, King 81, and G-Flux the Great signing out. See you guys next Friday. And
Lucent Oak Studio.